Very good. Recording in progress.
There
Okay.
you go.
Excited to see you, John Knowles, here at the Voice Alchemists today. Welcome, welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yay! I'm so pumped to have this exquisite conversation with you. So we honor
Wonderful.
your
Yeah, me too.
time. Yay! And yeah, so John is an amazing man. We're both Canadians in the first
Yes.
place.
Both from
And
Quebec.
yeah, I'm from Quebec. You're from Halifax, is that right?
Yeah, born in Montreal, grew up in
You were born in
Halifax.
Montreal. That's right.
Mm.
Born in Montreal. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so, where have we met, John? I can't remember where we met now.
We met at the Body, Mind, Spirit. You walked up to a group I was chatting with. No, we met originally at the storytelling. You came and saw me, and
Yes, that story that we were both
we
presenting.
both did a story that night. That's right. Yeah,
Oh my
that's great.
gosh.
That
Yeah,
was fun. That was a
that
good night.
was super fun with
Yeah,
Andy.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we met
Hmm.
there. Is it a couple of years ago, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
And John is an expert. John, let me introduce you. John is an expert in storytelling. He's a keynote speaker. He's an amazing artist, guide, coach. Is a father of four children, which
That's
is
right.
remarkable. John is an artist, is a healer, is a spiritual man with a heart of gold. Is an incredible musician. He's got a really cool band with very hot men in the band, and they do really cool music. I love his music. John is an incredible man, really, and is a survivor of throat cancer,
Yes,
cancer,
that's true. Tonsil. Yeah.
tonsil cancer. And my gosh, I can say so many things about John. I mean, he's yeah, you have all my respect, John, and I really, yeah, you're an incredible man. Like, really,
Oh, I thank you very much.
you're
You're
one
a
of those.
wonderful woman.
Thank you. You're one of those like gem, and you're a VIP client. We've been navigating together
Yes,
for quite a few months in one of my programs called the Reclaim Your Power, Reclaim Your Own Power, which was amazing,
it
amazing.
was.
While
Yes.
you were navigating, like going through cancer,
Yeah,
going through chemio and treatments, and it was big. Mhm.
that's right.
So, listen, John, I would love to know, like, if you want to share with us, I've got quite a few questions.
Yeah, good.
I would love to tell us about you, like at the core, who you
At the
truly
core,
are. Like, who's John Knowles? Not in his persona, in his ego, but at the core, who are you in
ah,
this world?
at the core, at the core, I'm a, I'm a people person who loves connecting with people on all levels. I'm a wordsmith. I love how words feel in my mouth. I love how they look on a page. I love twisting them to get laughs. Music runs through my life. I think music all the time. I love playing it. There's nothing better than playing with other musicians live. It takes you to a new level of connection. And I've always been someone who was interested in, uh, the I wouldn't say the spiritual side of life, but the metaphysical side of life. So even as a kid, like, at 12, I was reading books on astral projection and, all that sort of interesting kind of ethereal arts, if you will, the mystics. So that side of me has really evolved in the last 5 to 10 years. I've really, dug deep into that world.
Yeah.
Up until then, I was a graphic designer. I was an actor. I still do acting jobs. I
Yeah.
was a comedian, things like that. But the core of me is telling stories, drawing stories out of people. That's me.
Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen you in action. It's quite, yeah, it's remarkable. And so what is it? I mean, it comes down to what is your greatest passion? Like what really excites you? If you had to choose amongst all your multiple talents and gifts, if you were to choose something like what you named a few things describing the
Mm.
core of your essence of what you love, who you are. But if you had to choose like your greatest passion, if you could allow all your time in one thing that you're really passionate about, what would that be? I know it's a big question, but
That is a big question. Uh, uh, a big part of me loves to be in front of people. So I thrive in the spotlight. I love it. It's natural. I feel like it's my home. I can be on stage in front of 1,500 people and it doesn't feel like there's no nervousness because that's where I'm supposed to be. So I think in my perfect next life, which is this life from today on, I will be on stage delivering some sort of storytelling based teaching, maybe probably comedy of some sort. But my passion is making people happy and feeling that glow of their happiness back to me. So that's my passion.
oh, yeah, I love it. You know what? I resonate so much with this, John. Making people happy and like, yeah, just this happiness, this joy, seeing others feeling good and being happy. So aligned, so
Yeah,
aligned.
and how it's circular. So
Yeah,
everything that you're putting out is coming back to you even bigger, and that makes you put out more, and then it comes back to you bigger, and that can happen sitting talking to a stranger at a bus stop, or it can be in front of a huge group of people who've paid to hear you talk. It doesn't matter. The connection's the same if you're talking from the heart, and you know what it's like because you do this too. But when you're facilitating and you're in your zone, you're feeling the muse. You don't think about what you're saying at all. It's coming through you more than from you, and
zone of
and
genius. Yeah,
yeah, and that is a beautiful energy to sit in.
100%. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. In the void, in the zone of genius, in the transmission, in the flow. It's like being in the flow. Uh,
Mm. Yeah, you say
transmitting.
things that you didn't make up, like you
Yeah,
didn't consciously think them. They
correct.
came out in the perfect wording in the perfect order, like they're coming from the angels or straight from source or whatever you want to put it.
Yes.
And yet you can kind of say to yourself, no, I did the physical preparation to say that sentence, so it is coming through me from my life experience, but in that moment I did not conjure it. It just came to me,
Yeah.
and that's a beautiful space to sit in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, for sure. Amen to that. Yeah. I hear you there. It's so true. So, so true. Yeah. Really powerful.
I was reading something actually yesterday about how comedians, when they're in the flow, are if they're on stage, they're working their way from one thing they know is funny that they have written to the next thing that they know they've written, but in that beautiful gap in between, what is who's the guy that did Pulp Fiction? Ter-
Oh, the black guy? No, John.
Quentin Quentin Tarantino. He
Oh, yes.
says he says directing is the beautiful poetry that happens between the lines of the script. So that's how I feel comedians and good storytellers are. They know where they're going, they know where they are,
Yeah.
but that in between bit is like magic dust. It flows along from some beautiful well of goodness, and you don't even have to do anything except let it come out,
Yeah.
and maybe steer it towards the next thing you're going to say. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so true. Yeah, it's letting the flow. It's like it's not coming from head. It's not prepared. It's just flowing through
Mm,
you, like a song, like yeah, it's just the river flowing and your words are flowing and your energy is flowing and people receive it and that opens their heart.
that's so true.
It's a transmission. It's channeling. I would call it channeling. It's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
a conscious leader, an artist, a speaker is a transmitter, is channeling, we're channeling because it's not, it's coming through us, it's coming through our
Mm,
energy. And it's a great
that's right.
feeling to be in that zone of genius, to be in that zone, to be in that void, to be in that never experienced kind of situation.
For sure.
It's pure creation, like raw
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
creation. It's God's creation coming through us.
That's right.
It's God's creation, and that's the best. I mean, the best state to be in.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's the best state to be.
It sure is. That's why I love comedic improvisation. When you're on a stage,
Right.
if we walk onto the stage with agendas and ideas, you'll fail. But if you can walk onto the stage
Yeah.
with nothing
Yeah.
and just listen and observe and let whatever happens take shape and go somewhere, and you build on that and you listen to them and they add to it, and suddenly you're in a scene playing a character. You're more in the moment then than many times in your life. Like, most people do not get that chance to
No.
put themselves forcefully into the moment. Like when you step on stage at like somewhere like Enmore Theatre or something, and there's a big crowd, and you don't know what you're going to say, and you can't prepare. You just have to relax your body and just say yes to anything that comes out of your mouth, and trust that you'll be able to turn it into some gold. That's a beautiful challenge to put yourself into,
Yeah.
and once you get there, there's nothing like it. Like it's suddenly an hour's gone by, and you go, "What just happened? Where did that hour go?"
Yeah.
And then you watch the tape and you go, "Oh, that was good. Oh, that wasn't so good, but that was great."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazing. Amazing, John. And tell us, John, thank you for that share. It's just really powerful. What's your purpose in this lifetime? What's your soul's calling, your soul's work, your purpose here? I suppose you mentioned about, being on stage, transmitting, but yet to the core, your work, your soul's work. What is your true purpose, your soul's work?
Yeah, I have trouble pinning it to one thing.
Yeah.
It's more. I feel like it's more a feeling of being open to what arises, more than me having a path that I must stick to. Because I've had hundreds of jobs, literally hundreds of different jobs, and so all along that path, I've said to myself, "Oh, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the purposeful job that you'll stick to," and I never do. It morphs into a new type of job and into a new type of experience, and so I feel like being open to signs and signals and feelings is my purpose. My purpose is not to confine myself to a someone else's idea of what I should be.
Sure.
And at the same time, I'm finding much more inner satisfaction, if you will, in taking all those experiences that I've had and all the learnings, and helping people, whether it be facilitation or coaching or performing, whatever, helping them to access that joy in themselves. So, finding words essentially that help them explore that part of them that has been dormant.
Yeah.
Whether you're a facilitator or a keynote speaker that I'm coaching, it's it's rarely about the techniques.
Okay.
It's usually about unleashing something that they'd been fearful of exposing, and helping them to know that in that window of vulnerability is your best gift. Like if you're hiding that thing from us for fear of being exposed or being hurt or fearful, well, the chances are that's the thing that you need to find most and express most, clearly, or not even clearly, but openly. And that's a very vulnerable position to be in, especially when you've been protecting yourself your whole lifetime from showing that thing that, if you take a storyteller and they're telling stories, and this happened very recently. I had a class of storytellers where two of them realized about 3 sessions in that they were fearful of telling any true stories that showed any vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that's crucial to my course. So they left the course without me saying anything.
Wow. Oh my
They
God.
and I contacted them later, and they said, "Oh, it wasn't for me. Too personal." And I get that. Yes, those people have more inner work to do, perhaps, to be comfortable with. It's not that they're exposing embarrassing stories that are going to make people ridicule them.
No.
It's the fact that they couldn't tell a story of love or hate.
Yeah.
Or any of the deep, powerful emotions were too much, so they went to frivolous stories that didn't have any depth,
Right.
and they stay on the surface. You never get, but beneath that, with those storytellers, and that's not their fault in any way. I'm not blaming them in any way, but they realized that this was kind of too intense for them. They hadn't done the work to be ready, and that's fine. But the other 3 in that particular one, they told the most heartwarming, beautiful, vulnerable stories that could be books. They were so, they just had everyone in tears, and laughter, and then tears again. And you think, well, that's what you can do. If you allow yourself to explore those dark parts of the heart and the soul.
That's right. That's what vulnerability is all about. And then a good story, a true story, a good story, a lived story, will touch people's heart and move people. So emotions will move through. And that's what a good story is, especially in a lived experience. And it takes a lot of courage. It takes massive courage to expose ourselves in those spaces. Because it is personal, but it's also very liberating when you go there. It's also very liberating, and I suppose that's one of your your zone of genius and your expertise, your skills is to bring people there to feel confident and good about themselves and about their stories, to be able to share that with the audience, with the world.
Yeah,
That's your art.
Thank you. And a lot of that is I guess you'd call it the wisdom of being able to prepare the room, create the safe space, and make everyone feel that whatever they say, they're going to be supported, and there are no mistakes. If whatever it's tricky because if it's a 7-8 week course, on the first night or first day, whatever, I spend a lot of time talking about how it has to be a place where you can say anything, because the places where people hold those really good stories are locked with a key usually. And to suddenly let that information out in front of 5-10 strangers who you don't know who they're going to tell about your innermost sort of secrets, It's a real case of preparing the space, and if you do it correctly, people who have never told their partner, their best friend, these stories suddenly tell a group of strangers, and they're the most wonderful stories, and you think,
Yeah.
wow, you've been holding you're holding on to that your whole life, and all it took was just to be in a place where you felt safe,
Yeah. It- it's all about safety.
Mm,
Everything in life that we create, that we
that's right.
share, it's all about safety.
It
We don't
sure
feel
is.
safe. We block off if it
That's
starts.
right.
It starts with safety. That's the foundation. Safety, feeling
Yes,
loved, feeling safe, to be able to be seen and received, and
that's
that
right.
that's all there. It's all about safety. Yeah, yeah, you nailed
So
it
true.
there. Mm. Yeah, this is great. So it leads to my what you were sharing leads to my next question, which is about your business, because you talk about your course, your 8 weeks course. You do coaching, you help people with their storytelling, which involves, a level of self-confidence, self-expression, a clarity of who they are, what they're sharing in the world. So that, yeah, tell us about your business, like, keynote
Sure.
speaking, storytelling. Yeah, like, why
Okay.
should we go to you, knock at your door?
Well, oh well, you should definitely come to me. Well, okay. The business itself has been going, probably about 10 years with me on my own, and then in the last 3 years with my sister Wendy joining me.
Yeah.
And it's called Knowles by Heart, and that's my last name, and that's I wanted the word heart in there because everything comes back to the heart, and especially storytelling. So what we do is we help people who have either a business that they want to get across their origin story, or they need to pitch to people, or they need to convince people of something, persuade people to, use their product, their service, whatever. So it's all about finding stories from their life that show us very quickly in a condensed fashion that there's someone of substance that we want to work with. So the fast track to that trust is a true story that we resonate with. So if we can find that story and they can craft the story with us and tell it in a way that the other person immediately has an opening in their heart for that person, what they're selling doesn't matter. You've already connected with the person. So if it's authentic, then you're going to listen more deeply about what they're selling. Or they might not be selling it. They might be volunteering. They might be just, handing out gifts of wisdom. But whatever it is, the story gets you there so quickly in a beautiful way. Whereas, the way that a resume can't. You can read a resume.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see that they've done this, achieved that, have that medal, got that award. And then there's a flatness when you meet them, and you think, well, I'm not connecting with you, the person. So let's see the next person. And then the next person comes in and just says, "You've got my resume. Let me tell you a story of something that happened to me that put me down this path to this career. So I'm standing in front of you now." And they launch into a story, and maybe it only goes a minute or two. But by the end, they've said way more than that's on the resume. You can check the resume. Those are my credentials, but this is who I am. This is why you want to work with me.
Yeah.
Right. And I think those people who get that across in a story, they leapfrog the other contestants or the other, applicants. And it doesn't have to be on a business sense. It could be just, dating or anything. You meet someone, and you're out with them for 10, 15 minutes, and you drop a story in there that really accentuates your core values and who you are and why you love life and why you're going to be a great person to be friendly with in the future. That's gold. as you would say.
Really gold. Yeah, yeah, I love that term. I always say that that's gold. It is gold because you've
Yeah.
been genuine, you share your values. I mean, yeah, like, and I love that. I love the core of where your business coming from. Like you're very clear. It's all values based, and that's how we can only be successful and fulfilled when it's coming from our heart, when it's
Mm,
genuine, when it's coming from our own true values, and and we
that's
are
right.
sharing stories. We actually make up stories all the time. We make that up.
Always.
We make up life. We always
That's right.
we always
Very true.
making up stories, and whether we attach to stories that happens in the past, or we're scared of the one coming in the future, or you know what I mean, or if we use our beautiful imagination, we can create stories that we really want to live and experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
reframing. The big thing
every
about one of the things I do is to take someone's story, whether it's a literal story, or this happened to me and here's how I tell it, or whether it's how they see life, and
yes,
say, okay, let's reframe that so that you're the hero in this story, and your trauma is not dragging you along. You're in the, you've got the reins of that story, not the story. Yeah.
yeah,
And
not giving the power away to the story, but yeah, being in charge of being the
yeah,
creator of
because and
the main
knowing
character in the movie,
that's right. Because
actor rather of the movie. Mm.
yeah, there's a fantastic Japanese movie you may have heard of called Rashomon, and it's the way it works is it's one incident seen in three short films by someone else who was at the same incident, and they see it through their own perspective, and it's a different story, but the actual fact of the things that happened are all the same.
Yeah,
So
right.
we see life through our own lens, and if that lens is dirty because of some trauma from when you're a kid, and you need to
Clean it
get
up.
the Windex out and polish it up so that you can see what actually happened and why you are triggered by things. Well, if you can expose yourself to that
Yeah,
in a way that it's not traumatic now, but it's you grow,
yeah,
and you change your habits when through telling that story differently.
yeah,
Tell the story as if from the benefits,
yeah,
because it doesn't matter what happened to you, there are benefits. You can say, no, there's no benefit. Yes, there will be, if you looked hard enough. Something you did, something you became, something it stirred in you, this trauma, this tragedy, this good, bad thing, whatever it was. As you said, I've gone through cancer, and a lot of people know I lost my wife recently,
yes,
who was my soulmate. And, you could look at that and just go, no, there's no good in either of those things.
yes,
But of course there is. Lots of things that I would never have tried, never have challenged myself to do,
yeah,
came out of those awful experiences. So you go, well, I never would have met that person, that person, that person, who have been beautiful people in my lives,
yeah.
unless I went through that hard times. So
Mm.
yeah, so it's reframing the story so that you look at not just the good things in a Pollyanna way where you go, well, I don't see the bad things. No, you see them, and then you integrate them into the good things. So you have a umbrella view of, that thing that happened to me, I'm going to tell it like this so that I get goodness out of that thing,
Oh, bless
instead of
you.
victimhood. Yeah.
So much wisdom in that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I've seen you moving through. I mean, yeah. 3 years ago, you lost your soulmate, your wife. You got 4 kids. She had breast cancer, and then you've been going in 2025. You've been going through tonsil cancer. While we were navigating together the
Mm.
Climb Your Power program, and I've seen you like actually thriving through it. Like it's the strength that came out of you and the courage and um yeah, it's just been phenomenal. So
Oh, thank you. You
now,
don't know. No one knows what they have in their, what strength they have in their core until they're put into a situation where it's tested. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I know. I've experienced a near-death experience and an illness in 2017, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm,
When you lost, you lose it all, your capacity to function, and you lose your health. I mean, there's not much left there. You can't go and
that's it.
make millions of dollars, or have juicy relationships. When you don't have health. When you don't have health, I mean,
No,
you don't. Yeah, health is super is number one, really.
it is. It is.
We
Yes.
should learn that in at school, like from a very young age, that your health
Totally. That should be taught from day one.
in the
That and
curriculum.
meditation
Yeah.
should be taught right from the start. And
Yeah.
conversation skills should be taught.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. We're teachers.
That's right.
We're teaching and practicing. Um, Yeah, so my gosh, I think I'm gonna move to a bit talking about the work. Thank you for your great share. It's just really there's
You're
so much
welcome. Yeah.
to chew on, so much to chew. Um, John, now tell us about the work we did together, the program.
Sure.
Your greatest gift that you've received from working together in Reclaim Your Power program. What was your greatest gift from this experience?
Uh, I got plenty of gifts. There
Yeah,
was lots of
bring it
gold.
on.
It was a river of gold. Um, I think we worked on some ways for me to um, decipher why I was such a people pleaser all
Yeah,
my life. Uh, and, a lot of it had to do with my upbringing and having, a fractious relationship between my parents where I was in between, and I had to be the funny one who never, didn't cause problems, just made people feel good, which is a real skill, but it doesn't serve you well later in life when you need to step up as a masculine and strong person. So that was a big part of it.
yeah,
Finding my strength as a you know powerful male, if you will, in his own way. We did a lot of. I loved all the tapping work to explore where is that young child John who needs to be acknowledged for the good things that he did under duress, you know, under stress, and be allowed to flourish again, while still knowing that that my personality is based around wanting to be liked because I love being liked. So it's not detrimental to have that,
no,
but to acknowledge it and to know that. And we talked about it earlier, maybe, but I'm reading the book "The Courage to Be Disliked," and, and
yeah,
if you haven't read that book, everyone must read it. It's a
okay,
fantastic book on why people make decisions based on other people's perceived value of them instead of making decisions on their own value of themselves. I mean, you say this all the time in your course. You must love yourself first and love yourself lots. Everything else comes from that. And, I'm still trying to incorporate all this teaching, but those lessons are the hardest to learn and
yeah,
they're the most valuable. So I would say, along with all the other great things we did on, you did some great work on just the productivity of my business, on how to ask for what I'm worth, which that I put into practice almost immediately, and that was great. It made me say no to some clients that weren't the right type. and brought me some bigger ones that really knew what they wanted. So and I'm still on that journey. That's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And yeah, we had a fun time because while I was doing the course, we were also meeting up at other events, and I got to have that wonderful sound bath
Oh, yeah.
experience through you, which was beautiful. And it's been great because most of my other training, if you will, or work with people hasn't been with someone who has a spiritual core. They have either a teaching business, or more of a what's seen as maybe a pragmatic, practical side,
Yes.
and less of the woo-woo. Let's get our energies in place, or we're floundering, which is sort of that's the strong point that I've come to realize is crucial. So it was exciting to work with someone who starts with the guides, the energy, the heart space, and then layers wisdom on top of that, instead of the other way around.
Right.
So that was really important.
Mm-hmm.
And from a personal perspective, you were very kind and patient, because I went through all that health stuff, and it really disturbed our trajectory because I kept having to stop and start and stop. And so there was, I appreciated, the flexibility. And at the same time, where we got to in the end was a lovely space, because I had gone through so much over the time that we were together. Instead of 6
Wow.
weeks or whatever of my life, you got exposed to a year of intense John stuff. And so the course evolved as I needed different things, and that was beautiful.
Bless. Oh, I received that. That's so beautiful. A beautiful testimonial of your experience of working together. Very special. Yeah, very, very special. Hmm. Ah, receiving.
Lovely.
Receiving,
Yeah.
receiving, receiving, receiving. Because, you and I, and our audiences, we're such good givers, but, the
Mm.
receiving is so important that we're so not trained and programmed to learn to receive.
No, that's right.
We feel worthy when we're useful and when we give. And thank you for your vulnerability as a man. That's very vulnerable saying, like talking about the little boy inside of you, the people pleaser between mom and dad, and wanting to, create peace and being the funny one. And I can relate as well, because, in my family there was a lot of screaming and conflicts and stress, and you're the empath, you're the sensitive one, and you so want everyone to be happy and love
Mm.
themselves. So we turned out to be teachers, spiritual leaders, transformational leaders, conscious companion, sharing our voices to live in a better world where we see people happy, because
Mm.
where we want ourselves to be happy. And the only way
Mm.
to happiness, the best pathway, I reckon, to happiness, as you shared
Mm.
as well, is fulfillment, is self-expression, is giving your life as a gift,
Yeah.
giving your life, giving
Mm.
your talents and gift as a gift. And that's the most vulnerable and courageous path ever.
Mm.
you
I
know
agree.
Being paid for it, being paid to share your medicine, to share your creativity, to share your time, your energy, far out, and I bow to us. Hallelujah. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's huge. It's
Yep.
huge.
One of the things that one of the moments I remember clearly was when we sort of co-discovered the difference in my life between needing things and desiring things.
Oh yes.
And that's a big shift. If you when you need, you're at the behest of other people, other forces, other strings. But when you desire, you're moving forward under your own steam. When you need, you're being dragged towards something, not against your will, but yeah, it's not pure. Desire is pure, and needing is complicated. You find yourself in need. You never find yourself in desire. You are desire. You're desirous. It comes from inside. You find yourself in need of something. It's a happening. It's external usually, and it doesn't come with the satisfaction, because as soon as you get the thing you need something else. Whereas desire is like a painting, and you're just looking at other good bits on the painting. What bit will I focus on now that's going to make me happy?
I love that. I love so much the difference between needs and desires. Yeah, we are desire. I mean, it's wow. I love the way you translate it, you express it, your understanding of it, because we have done some work. I mean, I guess one is ego based. Needs is like, it's like a little baby has needs. It can't live without any care, and you got to feed the baby, take care, change the nappies. The baby's got needs, and if there's no one there, the baby can't desire the baby. The baby's gonna die if no one's taking care of them.
That's right.
So it needs, but we do have needs. Our ego. I mean, we need a roof above our head. I mean, we
Yeah.
need, food on the table, money in the bank to feed the family, but the desires. I love the way you. It's so colorful. It gives beautiful images. That's your gift, the storytelling, and it shows that you embodying the learning. The teaching that I've shared. With you in Reclaim Your Power program. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Another one was boundaries, which I was terrible at.
great.
And if you have one hand, you have people pleasing, and your other hand, you have boundaries.
Okay.
So and you juggle them. Which one will I drop today? Yeah. So, and so boundaries have always been a testing point for me. And I have got steadily better,
Yeah.
and I have a long way to go. And that's okay. It's baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. Yeah, I'm an eternal learner. I'm an eternal teacher. I'm an eternal learner. Yeah, baby steps. We're learning boundaries. Sometimes we make mistakes. I mean, the people pleaser comes along, wants to be liked, wants to please, feel for the other, and yeah, we've got to really it's a constant practice to learn to say no and to be at peace, not going into guilt or shame, or blame, shame game and guilt when we say no, not having to justify ourselves. I even remember we went to the theater recently together, and
Yeah,
I
that's right. Yes.
found myself justifying myself because I was choosing. You disappeared.
No, my dog wanted to come in. That's all
And
right.
the dog wants to join the party.
That's right.
It's smart dog. There's a lot of wisdom in this room.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, I saw this seat right in the middle. There's a few seats available, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna, we're sitting on the side. We had a pretty good seats anyway. It was a really great show. It was amazing. We had a great time, and I went to sit there, and you didn't want to join. You didn't want to.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And, and the beauty of that is
My throat chakra is activated.
that's right. And the beauty of that was that we could both be firm and authentic in doing what we wanted to do.
Correct.
And not feel like the other person was judging them or whatever. It was great.
In the end, I thought, my gosh, they were in better seat. I was more comfortable. I didn't have to twist my neck. I was making a choice in alignment for my well-being, which is my number one value, well-being.
That's great. Yeah.
First. I was practicing what I preach, choosing myself. And you didn't want to join me there. That was your choice. And I remember that we had a call later on and I was justifying myself. And Anick, you don't need to justify your choice. That was perfect for you. And his choice was perfect for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's the boundaries and the healing, transforming the people pleaser in being a leader, making choices that are true for us. My true yeses are valuable from my true nature, from my heart, and my true no's are valuable. I deserve them. I'm worthy of them. I don't need to justify them.
That's right. That's right. It was a good moment for your people pleasing student to not move to please you.
As well, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a good example, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize that till now, but that's good.
Yeah, this is a really good example. A lived experience.
Lived experience. That's right.
Because John and I, we have this business relationship, and we have an amazing brother-sister friendship evolving as well, developing. So that's really beautiful, So you can do business with people that you love. You can do business with people that you care about, and you can have a relationship, friends relationship, and a coachee relationship. Coaching teachers, student. Well, we both teachers anyway, and we're both students. But we can relate, and it's the same. I have a business coach, and she's a business partner. We ran retreat together. She's a dear friend. She's a very, very close soul sister, a friend, and she's also we're putting different hats, putting different pants, and we have boundaries in each category or the relationship. Now we're in the friends relationship. Now in the business relationship.
Yes, yeah.
We set the tone. We set the intention of where we are now, and that's boundaries. That's actually really practicing boundaries.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, I think one of the best, not examples, but with the areas that I've been able to put this into practice is with my sister Wendy, because we have very different styles of or backgrounds and styles of teaching.
Yeah.
And yet we teach beautifully in a co-facilitation manner, because at its core, we both have the other person's, we have the client's best interest at heart, and both of us come from the heart. So even if we have like a conflicting, maybe modality or, some way we think that would help this person to go forward, there's no conflict between the two teachers at all.
Right.
There's discussion about which might be the better way to go. Yeah. And we discovered right at the beginning that if you trust the other person's abilities and their wisdom and everything that they bring to the table, chances are it's equal or better to what you were going to say anyway. So give it its reign, give it life, let it see if it lands, let's see if it works. Hold your criticism or your hold your doubt, and keep it to yourself, and talk about it 2 days later if it still resonates. Because one of the biggest lessons I think people evolve and learn is to give the other people in the room the chance to show and tell and be who they want to be before you make your judgment call. People make that judgment so quickly, and we size people up and think we know them so fast on their visual cues or the way they talk or how they do their hair or whatever it is, and part of us shuts the curtains, and then the other person can't give their full, can't show off their full, what their talents and gifts and what their worth are, because you've already half judged them, and you're only leaving a little slice of of the window for them to shine through, because you've pulled the curtains just by your immediate preconceived notions of who they are. And so a lot of what I do is to try and, when I meet a client or work with them, is to try and neutralize people's reactions or judgments early, so that at least you get a chance to shine. Because I'm working with a lot of people with Down syndrome or maybe maybe you've got a person who runs a big business but they stutter or something like that, and those things like autism, they have physical cues that people make judgments about before they know the quality of the person. Yeah, so true. a lot of what I do is to try and get my clients past that hump of being judged unfairly before they get to shine.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Again, a masterpiece of wisdom there. We've been talking for quite a while now.
We do that. We're talkers.
We're good talkers. There's a lot of value in richness and gold, as I love to say in this
That's right.
conversation. John, we're gonna close this because we could be here
go on forever. Yeah.
All afternoon. And so we're going to go and change lives and keep doing our magical work. Two brief questions, if we can just.
Of course.
The two last questions. I mean, I've got a lot of other questions, but I was just going to close with this. Would you recommend working with Anick Patry, Reclaim Your Power? Would you recommend that program?
But I recommend you. Yes, of course I would recommend you. Wholeheartedly. Yes. I think what you get is what you see is what you get. You get a passionate person, brimming with wisdom and techniques, practical techniques, as well as ephemeral kind of wisdom that has to just be absorbed. Some of them are, pragmatic things that you should do to change for the better, and other things that are more like a cloud wafting by that you notice it and maybe it'll sink in 2 years down the track.
Yes.
It's a mixture.
Yes. Beautiful. It's been such a joy, a pleasure, an honor to work with you, to be your companion in Reclaim Your Power program. Together we went deep. It's been extraordinary to see you transforming, healing that people pleaser, setting the boundaries, putting your prices up with your business, improving relationships, growing and healing cancer through that. It's been such a massive experience, and it's been an honor to be your companion, your guide, your in that transition, big transformation and transition. So I feel very, very blessed.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Yeah, very, very honored, very blessed. And so the last word of wisdom you would like people to to take with them from this conversation we have today in the Voice Alchemist Container podcast show, in this Voice Alchemist transformative, elevating space? What is one word of wisdom you want to gift people with?
One word of wisdom.
Your word of wisdom from this conversation, yeah.
From
Your
this
legacy,
conversation,
your legacy, your
my
word of
my
wisdom. In
legacy.
one word.
Um, um, my legacy, I guess it would be be bold.
Be bold.
Be bold. At every crossroad of your life, you can shrink, you can be neutral, or you can be bold.
Yeah.
And very rarely will bold not be the best choice, because even if it goes wrong, you know what you know whether it could have gone wrong. Neutral, you're just the observer, and shrinking, you'll always regret.
Beautiful. Be bold. Blessing. John Knowles, thank you so much for your time, for this interview on the Voice Alchemist podcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and be bold.
Yes, very good. All
Amen
right.
to that.
Thank you.
I'll stop the live stream and I'll stop the recording. And how do you stop the recording? You go to more
It
record.
should have a red dot